What's up, my fellow humans? And today I just wanted to make sure that that I'm keeping myself up to my own promises. Kind of slacking on the parts I wanted to do, so I've been going to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, but still not good enough, I find. I do my work, I get home at 4 o'clock or something, and when I get home, I just instantly trigger back into bad habits, and kind of want to change that. I'm having really difficult times with changing these habits, because I want to program more, I want to do more stuff that is actually fulfilling me, instead of just smoking a doobie and then it's 2 hours later and then you're like, ah fuck, the day is over already, I guess. So I thought I would give you guys an update on what I'm gonna try to do. It's not like too bad, actually, like I'm already doing the sporting stuff, but I think I can do more, so just not really satisfied yet with what I'm doing. So I made a quick overview for myself, what I want to do. So as you can see, the weed part is kinda heavy. It's really struggling with for me, and I'm just thinking about how I can change this habit, because it's been so many years now and so much money, and after all this time I'm still not getting better at controlling this. So I thought I'd write it down for myself. What are my triggers, what is the resulting habit, and what is my desired habit, and what are the requirements that I want to implement for having or undergoing this habit. So my triggers, obviously after work, I feel like I've done a lot, my whole day, like I've been awake for 9 to 10 hours already, so I feel really satisfied already. It's not really the best, I think, but I think I can do more stuff, like keep it compact in those days, but I'll talk about that later. So big one definitely is weed having laying around. I usually don't clean it up, I just leave it on my desk. It's really like in my sights when I arrive at in my room, and that's really bad. I think it's one of the main triggers, I would say. That, and also being high or stoned already. So especially when you do your first one, it's already like, okay, I already did that one, and I did a bit of stuff like I'm doing now, because I already smoked one, but that's besides the point. But you're really more easily satisfied with yourself, I would say. I think that's the biggest thing, biggest trigger for this one, or biggest downside of this trigger. Being alone triggers it also, because I don't feel responsible for anything or anyone. I just like to do my own stuff then, and that's watching YouTube, playing video games, and smoking. That would be like my main activity if I'm alone. I'm not feeling too socially frisky, I would say, or I want to try stuff. And also I wrote this one down because I already explained it a bit, but if I feel satisfied, if I did a full day, 10 hours working and sporting, then I'm already done and feeling like I did my part of the day. And I don't know, I think I want to stick with my desired habits, which I'll explain later, but these ones are still, main triggers that I have to work on. So I'll write up a plan of action, what I want to do or what I want to try improve this. I know it's not gonna be like instantly, oh, I'm not smoking 4 days a week or something. No, I'm definitely gonna struggle, and step by step I hope I can undo this like I just did. the resulting habits, yeah, it's a pretty big one. So smoking, usually alone. I guess many people that really got into weed can relate. At some point you rather just smoke alone and do your own stuff instead of doing it with your friends, what you were meant to be or what weed was supposed to be in the first place. I don't think it's that beneficial for your own health if you're doing it alone instead of, except for when you want to reflect or something, but usually you're just being less, you're just gonna decrease in productivity and do less stuff that you actually want to do. So that's a big one. Time flies by, obviously everybody knows it when you're stoned, like suddenly you're 2 hours further and it's like almost, oh shit, I have to go to bed at 10, and then, yeah, for me, then it feels bad, so. And this is also a big one, I don't know. I don't usually hear a lot of people say or talk about this, but a big downside for weed or smoking weed for me is actually that I'm feeling bad about myself, and at the end of the day, when you lay in bed, you're like, oh shit, I really should have done the programming or the studying this day and I didn't do it because of basically weed. And then sometimes it's not that it's that I'm disappointed in myself, it's more like I shouldn't have smoked that much. Like I could have easily enjoyed one good joint in the evening, and that would be it for my day. So I think that's more realistically what I'm gonna try for these initial steps towards my desired habit, but we'll see about that later when I finally make my my plan of action. And obviously this is a pitfall for everybody, I guess. You start to make like fake correcting actions or things you want to change, and they're usually just too big to do in once, and it's like a bit of copium for yourself if anybody knows it. It's like trying to justify yourself and your behavior for that day by saying, oh, I'll improve this tomorrow, or I'll do this in another day. And it's just like pitfalls I fall in every day. I guess it's pretty relatable. So my desired habit would be like 4 days intensive work week. This requires no smoking, but this is like the ultimate goal I want to achieve. Like obviously I'm working 5 days a week in the first years probably of my life, and this will not be something I can achieve instantly, but I think it's a nice goal to work towards. It's not too far-fetched or too high up to be like, oh, this is impossible to reach. And then yeah, just 3 days of brainless chilling. Like I want to turn off my brain and never think about anything useful in that 3 days. Just reset myself, chill with friends, with my girlfriend, do stuff that's really like is fun and enjoys me, and not too serious, because a lot of times I think too serious about life and I'm not just enjoying it to the fullest. I find I'm overthinking a lot of things. I'm thinking about, oh, this should be like this, or this is not nice, or this is not good, and just not enjoying the fullest I can, I think. And this one is this is gonna be difficult because I also have some requirements, and these are pretty tough ones. So the first one is the most difficult, is having weed and not smoking actually. So usually this is really tough because whenever you know you have weed, you're all automatically thinking about certain times or certain periods that you can smoke a doobie, like, oh okay, I have this 1 hour between I have to go to my family and getting home, so I can smoke one joint and then be a bit okay when I go to my family. But ultimately you're just like still stoned when you arrive at your family. It's like less good conversation and just a bit more, I don't know, both sides feel uncomfortable a bit. I know my parents know it and they don't really they don't approve it, but they're okay with me doing it because I have my own reasons for it, obviously, and they also know I'm trying to work on it. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still just a bit bad to do it before you want to go meet your parents or stuff, or do productive things. Obviously I need enough things to fulfill my life, like to feel like I'm actually achieving something, and that I don't want to smoke away the time I have left on this planet, or the time I have on this planet. I don't want to sound too dramatic. But mainly, yeah, just doing things that I actually find fulfilling for mankind, I guess. Like, everybody wants to leave their stamp or their stamp on history, and everybody wants to be like, oh, I want to be remembered and stuff. And people that say that don't just lack the motivation, I guess. Like, this is an intrinsic desire for everybody to be recognized, like your existence being recognized. And at what scale is different, of course, for everybody, but at least somebody wants somebody to recognize them in their whole life. Even if it's your mother, it's totally fine, but just do the best you can for your mother then. And I don't think that's what I'm at right now. I think I can do a lot more than I'm doing right now, but I'm already doing good, so I can't be too satisfied, but I also need to be grateful that I'm doing good things already, so it's kind of limbo zone right now, but we'll see. This one is also going to be an important one, giving up on some social interaction habits. Obviously with smoking it comes with friends also, like I have friends who smoke, I will be smoking less with them, I will see them less. I have obviously in the 4 days I'm working, I'm not gonna be really too free of time, so I probably won't see my girlfriend in those days, and I guess it would also be difficult on the relationship to only fit them in these 3 days, so I have to think about how I'm gonna do or approach that. But at the end, I don't think it's impossible, I just think it's good planning, and that's one of the things I'm sucking at or I'm not good at, so I'm trying to improve that, trying to write down things, trying to come up with ways I can keep myself accountable and just don't forget the things I want to achieve. And the last point for my requirements is have a tight planning during the working days, and also for the brainless days, actually, because I said like the working days will be full of productive things and condensed relaxed time. Like I have a few 2 hours maybe of relaxing or something at the end of the day, and the brainless days will be when I'll want to do all the fun stuff. And I'm noticing that my weekends are pretty full. Like I don't have a lot of free time for my own, maybe for the better, because otherwise I would just be smoking alone, like the kind of habit I'm trying to do away. So maybe this is actually a good thing already, so I'm gonna leave that one up there just to remind myself that it's also a good thing. So what when I want to do more, I want to get really deep into the programming and app developing, or / app developing, because the programming I'm gonna do is probably a bit more on the easy side. It's more gonna be complex, thinking about the concept and what I want to develop that is useful. And as I was writing this down, I easily found out that this is a really new habit, obviously. Like it was not difficult for me to write all these triggers and all these resulting habits, but for doing it the other way around, for my good habits, it's really difficult. I don't find too many triggers and resulting habits that actually that I can actually correlate with the desired outcome or triggers in that case, so cause and relation. Yeah, I don't know how to say that in English, but the triggers are mainly feeling guilty, useless. This is obviously not a good one, because your self-image of yourself just goes down. You feel like you're not doing the stuff you should do in your life, and this ultimately leads to bad life thoughts or bad ideas about yourself, and just that you want to get rid of. So I will try to get rid of this one. Yeah, I couldn't think of a second one, and then the second one I actually thought of was how I started this video, or this episode again, I guess, was by watching something that inspires me online. In this case it was Kierkegaard about routines and habits, and it actually like already amplified the ideas that I had and knew about habits and routines and triggers, and it made it a bit more clear that I actually have to work on these things, and it's not like some guru science or some people saying like, oh, you should just do this and your life will get better. So at the end of the day, I don't think that it's a bad thing. So I think this one is actually a good one. It can be anything. It can be a book, it can be other people, friends around you, it can be the random stranger on the street. I don't know, a lot of things can inspire me. Even like this stupid ball pen. I don't know, it just lays nice in my hand and I can write on my paper with it, and it kind of inspires me to just write things down. Like I have this huge paper block of paper that I wasn't using for months, and then I got this big, or this how do you call it, pen? I just call it pen, I guess, from my work, and then I kind of stuck it with it. So, oh, it's a really nice pen, I'm gonna use it. So here we are using the pen and trying to change my life, I guess. The resulting habit is of course that I will program for about an hour. This is mostly focused. This until now it was just following YouTube videos, trying to do the things on my own, seeing how the result is. This was going pretty well because I already have an introduction into Python, so kind of know the logic behind programming and what you want to achieve with programming and how you can achieve it. Downside, or like good and bad, is also I feeling productive, satisfied. So this can, again, this can cause for a trigger to smoke weed, and this is obviously one I noticed pretty early, like just when I did a couple of hours. Not until 8, but even before that I was like satisfied and oh, okay, I'll reward myself, and the rewards feel even better then. So that's also both a good and a bad thing, because the joints were like, oh yeah, I did something productive all day already, so I should be satisfied with myself, and it's just like easier to sell myself that I was doing good, but still I wasn't keeping to my schedule that I wanted to do. So it's kind of good and bad. I can't be too harsh on myself right now, but I'll try to do the things I want to do, and maybe my idea is to develop an app that actually helps me with this desire, this idea that I want to get better, and just look at my life and see what I'm missing, which triggers and which visual stimulus I need to actually keep myself to my schedule that I want to achieve. Like, it's not that hard of a thing. I think, like, realistically in a couple of years it could already be there, that I'm like only working 4 days a week and that I'm just 3 days chilling, but we'll see about that. Desired habit, I think why I started programming or app developing is to make something that would change everything, like improve all lifestyle, all people's thinking about apps and how you should use the data around you. I kind of think this, you can say this about anything like art or gaming. You just want to be the best at this and make an impression of, yeah, the good things you did in life, and I guess everybody wants to do that. That's not really unique desired habit, I would say. And the requirements for this habit would be like headphones. I kind of be struggling with it. I don't have too much money right now, and the money I have I want to spend on vacation and on bills, so for the moment this is going to be a difficult one. Maybe I can find some money if my my tax money return finally comes in, then I can buy one. But until then, I guess I have to do it without headphones. Good music, this is one of the ones I really started early with, even in my student career. I found that I can really study really good with, or like just be productive with, classical music and music without voices and too much complexity, so really repetitive stuff. And this really helps me. Like, I was working before with this music for an hour or two, so good shit, that helps me. Good setup, obviously, kinda same thing as the headphones. You just want to make yourself the most comfortable and the most pleasurable experience doing the good stuff, and you want to make the bad habits unpleasurable and more difficult to do. So I'll come up with a plan on how I want to improve those both those two, like with actually examples. And yeah, I think the most important one for app developing is being creative or in touch with life. Like, you want to know what you want to make before you start actually making the app, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you first have to have an idea, of course, and you just can't start making rip-offs of other apps that already exist. So beforehand I was talking about the food waste app and stuff, or thinking about it, and actually we found the full app already being made by somebody else, but I haven't never heard of it, or the app, and I haven't used it since. But actually I should start using that, but maybe that's an habit I can put in my app. Until then I'm gonna focus on writing and not get too straight away with something that could have been mine, and if I started earlier, blah blah blah, all the bad stuff that you want to say to yourself. So yeah, let's see what I can come up with a plan, and maybe this can actually start to work out a bit for me. So let's sum it up what we have. So for bad habits, after work is really crucial time. This is usually my main trigger, together with insights. So I'm gonna definitely change those two. Being alone is a bit less because I can also work good on my own, but I'm gonna try to do this more just because I can be a bit more social then, and also like not being too much of a loner. And feeling satisfied already. So those are the 4 main ones I want to change. The good habit that I want to create is to actually decrease this and overturn it, because I know this will lead to more good stuff and good habits creating. So I'm gonna couple the decrease in bad habit to the good increase of my good habits. So I'm gonna gradually increase the time I can start smoking. This will result in me being less stoned, and also then me being less already satisfied or already in comfort with myself, and oh, I'm already stoned, so I can do another one. It's just gonna amplify that feeling, or decrease that amplification of that feeling. Insight is an easy one, so I'm just gonna clean up my desk at 10 o'clock in the evening every time. This is usually the time I go to bed, so right before I go to bed I can clean my desk, and then it would be a lot nicer and less triggering to see if I come inside my room. Being alone, like I said, I'm gonna try to be more downstairs, but this is not like, this does not have to be like a crucial thing. And feeling satisfied already, this is gonna be a bit more difficult, and I'm gonna try to delay this feeling until day 4. So actually Thursday, when I'm finished with my 4-day working week, then I want to feel all those gratification and good feelings. Oh yeah, I did great this week, and I can do 3 days of really nothing and just turn my brain off. So plan of action, I'm just gonna try to give you a run through of what I want to try. Don't know if it's gonna be like this or if I'm gonna change it in a couple of weeks, because you never know with me. Like, one week I'm thinking about this and the next week I'm thinking about something else. But I'm gonna try to give the respect that it deserves, because it's actually a really bad habit that or like an addiction that I've been struggling with a long time. So I can't really be like expecting this to okay, no, I'm not smoking anymore. Usually I can do this with a lot of things, that I can just quit the bad habit instantly if I really want it, but with smoking it's definitely different. One of the difficult ones I've tackled so far. So the first month, now we're the 2nd of August, so until September, I'm only gonna start smoking 1 hour after I arrive from my work. So this sounds pretty reasonable, like 1 hour just filling up with some kind of productive stuff, and then I can start smoking if I want to, or if I'm stuck in my zone, maybe I will be more productive. But I assume like after an hour I will start doing my first joint, or an hour and a half maybe. We'll see. Cleaning up my desk at 10 in the evening. being downstairs, like I said, and reward myself after 4 days. This is a big one because Thursday after 8 is when I want to be desired, like then is the brainless bench coming in. That's the time when I want to be actually turning my brain off. So until then I shouldn't really reward myself with anything good, like order weed or food or something. I should just make it myself and smoke the weed I have left, even if it's nothing, or hopefully a friend would share something, but can't really expect that every time. So just to be hard on myself, and I don't think this is too over the top. If I order enough, I usually will not run out, and then this would kick in, this habit that I'm trying to stay. So, but this is just not giving in to myself and rewarding myself when I actually complete the 4 days. So yeah, no ordering before Thursday. It's gonna be a big one. And then after each month I would just gradually increase the time I'm spending sober after work until I actually have my 4 days that I stay sober. I think that would be the most, yeah, I would say the most realistic path I can take of plan of action. And if I keep this up in half a year like this, so for 6 hours, then after I come home, so I come home at 4, then 6 hours until 10, then I would actually start being the sober guy 4 days a week. So yeah, I'm looking forward to forward. So that would, another second, so that would be when I'm turning 27. Interesting, the end of February. Okay, maybe it's all meant to be, but who knows. Let's see if I can keep this up. Anyways, I guess this is it, and see you guys later. Bye.